I know I already did my collection video. I got new software, new programs, new camera. I didn't like the way it came out last time. So I felt like I really wanted to shoot it. Plus, I figure I should break it down a little more than I already did. So it's not that long. If I were to do it all at one shot, it's probably going to be like 45 minutes to an hour. So what I really want to do is just take some time with this one to get it right. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to break it up into a bunch of different parts. So, technically speaking, this is a relaunch of Dahmer's Cool Stuff, and we're going to go on a journey. I picked up some more stuff already, and I'm going to do game reviews, I'm going to do skits, I'm going to do bits. You've got a little bit of a feel, I've got a little bit of a feel for it, so let's get busy and let's go through my collection. This is the Nintendo Entertainment System that me and my wife worked on. She worked on the top half, she did the painting. Didn't want to touch this, but I would like to go over that. I did the bottom half. Controllers there as well. I like the way it came out. I already have a video on it though. Next is the Super Nintendo with Super Mario World in there. It's yellow. It's one of the original Nintendos where they use the cheap plastic. That's why it gets this yellow and gray. This is the good plastic. And this is the weird plastic that they used that was cheaper, and over the course of time they yellow out. The ones that yellow out on the top and bottom are actually the first run technically. The ones that yellow out on either the top or the bottom is the second runs that they had, and the ones that are gray to this day are the third run where they actually got them right. That is my AV splitter. This is the Dreamcast. One phenomenal system that I am ashamed that I never played when it first came out, but now I have that chance. GameCube with Animal Crossing in there. The Genesis Model 2 with Beavis and Butthead in there. Not a good game, but I am reviewing it. The Atari 2600 Gray, the wood model one. It's got River Raid in there, one of my favorite Atari games ever. And then we have Sega Genesis, Model 1. We go a little further down, we have a 2600 Junior. This one does work, shockingly. So that's all the, technically speaking, retro systems that I own. Now let's get to some games. This is going to be the Nintendo stuff. I'm going to first start off with Gyromite. You really can't see the bottom because once I open it up, you realize it's got the Famicom converter in there. This was a donation from Danny. This is the 72-pin connector. This is the actual Gyromite game. They did this because there was such a shortage on first run Nintendo games. It's really random from what I could tell. Some games meet the criteria for doing it. It's got to be one of the first run Nintendo games that came out when the system first launched. And 5 screws that you can actually undo with a normal screwdriver. So there's that bit. Now, going to go into the 4 boxed with instruction Nintendo games that I own. I've got Flying Dragon, The Secret Scrolls, Dance Aerobics, I know, such a great game, Athletic World, and Nightmare on Elm Street. Oof. And I have on the 7800 Xevious complete in box. The first time I did this video, I had said probably Xevious is the long shot at best, but probably the one only worth the damn. No, I was wrong. None of them are. None of them are. That's fine by me. We got a couple tanking games. Pac-Man, RBI Baseball. If I come to a game that I'm actually going to pull out, I'll just wind up pulling it out. But we have To the Earth, WrestleMania Challenge, Batman, yep, Castlevania, Mega Man 2, Ninja Gaiden, a game I still haven't beaten to this day, Metroid, Metal Gear, DuckTales, everybody should own DuckTales, Super Mario, Duck Hunt, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Tecmo Bowl, Operation Wolf, which is not a bad game, I might add, Rygar, which is a little underappreciated, quirky, but underappreciated, WrestleMania, Battletoads, yeah, Rad Racer, we'll slide the Game Genie out again, Bad News Baseball, Jordan vs. Bird, 1-on-1, Ice Hockey, Rescue the Embassy Mission, Dig Dug 2, Kung Fu, Millipede, Monster Party, Excite Bike, second copy of Rad Racer, Marble Madness, Gauntlet, Game Genie book. Now, the half of these were donated by Danny, the N64 and the GameCube. GameCube I have Animal Crossing. It's the cutest game ever made, mindless game ever made as well. I have WWF No Mercy in a blockbuster box, Pokemon Puzzle League complete in box, WrestleMania 2000 complete in box, and no, it's not sealed. It's definitely not sealed. It's the hell I got it from Blockbuster. And then Ogre Battle 64. Now I'm going to break off handheld. This is pretty much strategy guides. Even for games I don't own. Strategy guides, more strategy guides, more strategy guides. This is the Genesis collection. X-Men 2, Turtles in Time, Hyperstone Heist, Sonic Spinball, Streets of Rage 3. All in box, complete. NBA, some golf games, Sonic the Hedgehog, Aladdin, X-Men, Spinball, another copy of Spinball, not in box. Golden Axe, Tasmania, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. It's pretty cool. It works better with the six button controller. Castle of Illusion, Maximum Carnage, which I love the different looking cases, like games, you know, like Genesis, they're all black, and then boom, Maximum Carnage red. Same thing with the Doom on the Super Nintendo, and even Killer Instinct. Chester Cheetah, yeah, Jurassic Park, Lion King, Miss Pac-Man, Space Invaders 91, Sonic 2, second copy of Sonic 2, Toe Jam and Earl, Panic on Funkotron, Super Battleship, Royal Rumble, NBA Jam, RBI Baseball 3, and Twin Cobra. I know, shout out to Metal Jesus for introducing me to Twin Cobra. It's a pretty badass game, and I saw the episode that he played it on. All the Genesis games I have actually played Twin Cobra the most so far. Miss Pac-Man being a close second. This is the Game Genie. This is my Dreamcast games. I don't have cases or instructions for these guys. I bought them as is from a collection from a friend. Most of the Genesis stuff was also from a coworker. I have Sonic Adventure, Soul Calibur. I know the lighting's really bad. Grandia 2, Rippin' Riders, which I'm never going to play. Then Skies of Arcadia. And then I have the 4-disc Shenmue collection. As I said before, unfortunately I don't have the cases or instructions for those guys. They were bought as is, and I could not pass up the deal. The Super Nintendo stuff. I actually have a cleaning kit, complete in box, even though the box is really dreadful. You know, Star Fox, Super Empire Strikes Back, Super Star Wars, Mario Kart, SimCity. You're already familiar with Tasmania and the Jungle Book and the Super Game Boy from the pickups before. The Duel, Mario Paint, Star Trek The Next Generation. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually a game that I may wind up playing because Clan of the Grey Wolf. He did it as a 16-bit gem, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, I'm sorry, guys. And then, yet again, another X-Men game. 80 or so 600 games that I own. We have Space Invaders, Warlords, Dodge 'em, Berserk, another great game. Defender, Football, Indy 500, Casino, Breakout, Othello, Dragster, Bowling, which is good. Yeah. Sword Quest, Maze Craze, Space Cavern. Just tell me why. Towering Inferno, Roaring Storming, Attack of the Beefsteak Tomatoes, Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes. A game exists called Revenge of the Beefsteak Tomatoes, and 20th Century Fox made it. Word Zapper, Haunted House, Frogger. Some of the odd-looking ones: Bump and Jump, Armor Ambush, Spider-Man, Star Voyager, Encounter at L5, Atlantis, Firefighter, Ms. Pac-Man, which is one hell of a port. Like, if they'd released this version of Pac-Man instead of the other version of Pac-Man, I think Atari may still be in the game. Would still be making would have been making consoles for a few more years. This port is pretty fucking good. I hate to say it like that, but it is. Trust me, Pac-Man on the 2600 is a pile of shit. But I don't know what they were thinking. Congo Bongo, which is weird because Sega. Beanie Bopper, Mousetrap, and Carnival. Also, Sega. Except for Mousetrap. For some reason, I have 2 copies of that fucking game, E.T. We have Alien, which... yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a licensed game. It's a licensed movie game from the movie Alien. Pitfall, once again, a classic game. Beanie Bopper. Slot Racers. Indy 500 again, Street Racer, Air Sea Battle, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Flag Capture, Haunted House, Phoenix, Video Pinball, Outlaw, 2 versions of Combat, Mystery Game, which I can't figure out what it is for the life of me, Adventure, Football, and Battlezone. Once again, Yar's Revenge. One of the things I will be doing is going over some of the best games that I own and that I can remember on the 2600, because that's where I started gaming. You know what? I'm glad this particular cart looks like this. This game deserves this. Not so much the guy who developed it. I felt bad for him, because this was the prototype. He did a proof of concept that Pac-Man could work on the 2600, and Atari said, we're selling it. He was like, I'm not done making it. I just did a proof of concept. Doesn't matter, we need it for this holiday season. It's coming out. That's why this game is like this. Probably another copy of Warlords Home Run, and another copy of Defender, Real Sports Volleyball, which I can't play because I don't have that controller, Space Invaders, a 3rd version of Combat, Tic-Tac-Toe, Target Fun, Chopper Command, Fishing Derby, Chopper Command again, Tutankhamun. This is one of the stranger ones. It's Donkey Kong on the Coleco. And it's a Nintendo game on a completely different system other than a Nintendo system. It's always been strange to me. G.I. Joe. Yeah, I know. Sorry. The people I bought these off of didn't exactly take care of their stuff, apparently. Boxing. Yet another Coleco game. Donkey Kong Jr. this time. Actually, yeah, works on the 2600. And does the other... yeah, they work on the Atari games too. That's all. Oh yeah, that's probably because they got their asses sued for doing that. Hubert, another great game that I loved playing, and then Venture. So yeah, this was the retro side of the collection. Now we're going to go into the other room and go for the PS2, Xbox, PS3, 360 games. But yeah, after looking at the 2600 games, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to do 10, out of the collection I have, the top 5 or 10 games I have and some of the worst crap that I have. More than likely, I'm just going to do my 5 favorite games on the 2600. Also, I have more than one. This is what I call Old Blue. He's the Guitar Hero 2 controller on the 360. And he's seen some better days, apparently. But he still works. Pretty good. Works fine. Whammy bar's a little messed up, but you know what? It's like a broken-in guitar, an old broken-in good guitar. But I have a couple guitars, a mic, a drum set for Rock Band that I never use. There's my red Xbox, my PS2 with hard drive, and that some is the Blu-rays I have, not many. My PS3 collection starts with Final Fantasy 13. A good game. I can understand why some people really didn't like it. And I also know that complaint. I am about 50 hours in the game, and I'm literally right as soon as you get out of the main game. Like, you go into the open world, I stopped playing. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. That, and I started playing Fallout. White Knight Chronicles, which was a great game also, has a very MMO type of feel to it. Interesting story to it also. The character creator. You're not creating the main character. You're creating the sidekick. And the story's being told through the sidekick's eyes. So that was definitely different. Portal 2, amazing game. I did play some of the DLC that just came out. Not that bad. The DLC wise. The game itself, I chose PS3 because of Steam. Steamworks definitely sealed the deal for me on that one for PS3. And the God of War 1 and 2 collection, I used to own 3. 6-hour game, what can I say? Hell of a ride, but once again, a 6-hour game. Disgaea 3, Absence of Justice, very quirky strat RPG. You'll notice a trend. I got a couple other Disgaea games here. And I'm probably not even saying it right. Don't really care. UFC 2009, Undisputed, actually still really good game. 2010 was good as well, but it was definitely rushed. Borderlands, probably one of my favorite games on the 360 of all time. I've plunked many, many hours into this game. It was the game that, if you have a loved one, a significant other, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and they don't play video games, or shooters for that matter, and you want to wean them in, Borderlands is it. It controls like Call of Duty, but it kind of acts like a Diablo game. It's the easiest way to describe it. Lego Batman, that is not mine, that is the wife's game. Spectral Force 3, very strat RPG, got a couple hours into it, stopped playing it. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, tremendous, tremendous games. I have DLC for all of these, for those 2 games. Gears of War 1 and 2. Awesome games. They're not mine. They're the wife's. I was not joking when I said she plays Gears of War a lot. She is a very big fan of the Gears of War franchise. To the point that the Epic Edition that we picked up recently, that was for her. Tiger Woods 08, because sometimes after killing things and doing weird things in video game land, it's just cool to kick back and shoot 18 holes. We got Batman Arkham Asylum. That is the collector's kit. Collector set as well of Arkham Asylum. Then we have my Halo fixation. We've got Anniversary Edition, ODST, Reach. I have all the DLC for Reach and Halo 3. And I have all the DLC obviously for 3 because I have the ODST. So yeah, Sacred 2 was one of the better games that is underappreciated. It's as close to a Diablo game as a console's ever going to get. And Champions of Norath came pretty damn close to it. What hasn't been said about Fallout 3 already? So I'm not going to say it anymore. New Vegas. Oh, New Vegas. You were supposed to be so much better. Why? Glitchy, buggy, even more so for a Bethesda game, but it wasn't the same team that worked on Oblivion and Fallout 3. It was a completely different team, and I mean, they did good, but it was way too buggy. Even the the pre-order DLC was busted. Oblivion. 100 plus hours into it and I never finished the game. I have like 8 characters in the game. They all do specific things. For a retro gamer, this is probably one of the best collections to get. The Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection. It has got 40 games on there. A lot of Sonic games, Streets of Rage, Phantasy Star 1 through 4 alone, Shining in the Darkness, Shining Force 1 and 2, Streets of Rage 2, Streets of Rage, Altered Beast, Golden Axe 1, 2, and I think 3. It's got Vector Man, Spinball, Shinobi, Revenge of Shinobi, so many great classic games. As I said, I'm saving collector's editions for last. Well, except for Dragon Age, because this game was so good, so underappreciated by me. I mean, I played 5 hours of it and then stopped because I started playing Fallout 3 again. Assassin's Creed 2, a game I'll eventually get back to beating. Grand Theft Auto 4. Marvel Ultimate Alliance. The first one was great. The second one was absolute dog shit. Tales of Vesperia. This is a game that I'm not supposed to like. I'm not a fan of anime. And this game is heavily anime based and influenced. The voice acting in this game is ridiculously good. The combat is buttersweet as well. It's definitely not your normal turn-based combat system. Very combo heavy, and I enjoyed it. Mass Effect 1 and 2. The third one will be in that collection, closer to this year. What can I say about Mass Effect series? BioWare does good. BioWare deserves all the praise that they get, but the story is intense, especially Mass Effect 2. It has a very darker feel to it, leading to the fact that the third game is going to be the darkest of them all. I'm patiently waiting for that. That's all I'm going to say about Fable 2. People who witnessed me beating that game literally saw me grab the controller and go, "What? That's it? I beat the fucking game?" It was like 2 days after the game came out. Then we have Blue Dragon. Great game. Also another game I'm not supposed to like because it's anime based. Obviously Rock Band 3. I've got my Rock Band 2, Lego Rock Band, Guitar Hero 2, Guitar Hero Metallica. Universe at War, I don't know why I picked it up. I picked it up at Five Below for $5. It didn't qualify $5 Misery or Agony. I'm not even going to touch Final Fantasy 11. Or that one. Rainbow Six, I got the second one on loan to a friend. And this is just some of the demo stuff that I kept. Especially the 2 free quests for Oblivion disc. PS2 collection. Once again, I've got a Disgaea, Hour of Darkness, the first one. Pretty good game. Very nice strategy RPG. We have Lord of the Rings Third Age. Also a pretty good game. RPG, very linear though. Maximo, Ghost of Glory, Army of Zin. Old school style gaming, hard as hell. You will die a lot. Future Tactics, a futuristic strategy RPG. I still have this game to this day. SOCOM, my first forte into internet online gaming. The guys I met in this game, I am still friends with to this day. San Andreas, yeah, pretty good. Wizardry, hard as fuck. Dark Cloud, hell of a game. When I first owned it, I plucked 200 hours into this game. No joke. Beat it without a strategy guide. One of my prouder gaming moments, I might add. Deus Ex, The Conspiracy, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I'm a fan of Diablo hack and slash style games. That one's a pretty good one. We got Dragon Quest VIII. It's not bad. Front Mission 4, strat RPG with mechs. I don't like mechs. I like this game. Twilight of the Spirits, Ark the Lad. I am never going to open that one because I'm never going to play it. Star Ocean, End of Time. RPG I haven't gotten around to. Neither is Rogue Galaxy, but from what I heard about Rogue Galaxy, the men are men in that game. So we have Champions Return to Arms. This is probably, out of the PS2 era, the game I played the most. No joke. I have like 7 or 8 guys I've made throughout the course of me playing this game, and each guy I've spent at least 50 to 60 hours on. I've played this game a lot. Final Fantasy 12. 12, it's a weird game. Once again, it's one of those games that I broke like Final Fantasy X and X-2 with the license board. So shit got easy real quick. Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Probably one of the best mashups in video gaming history so far. Please make 3. I'm tired of the handheld games. Legends Taito. Great compilation with all the Taito games. Bubble Bobble, Operation Wolf, the sequel to that, Operation Thunderbolt, Rainbow Islands, also known as, it's got some good games on their kicks. Shining Tears, a game I bought, haven't played yet. RPG style, RPG from Sega, so, from Sega. I got so many games. Brotherhood of Steel Fallout, which is their take on a Baldur's Gate style game. Actually, the funny thing is, Interplay made both of these. So, Final Fantasy XI, a failed RPG. Now, Xbox, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance 2, a tremendous game. I got it for a great deal when I got it. Dungeons & Dragons Heroes, another good hack and slash RPG. But all 4 guys are on the screen. 2 or 3 guys are on the screen at the same time. It's pretty cool. Buy this game. Buy this game, especially on the arcade. Xbox Live, buy it. Stubbs the Zombie. Rebel Without a Pulse. I can't say this enough. My boss, one of my bosses, gave me this game, Rob. Told me, try it out. See what you like it. I bought it that day, the next day. It was an amazing game. Based off the Halo engine, but zombie game, doesn't take itself too seriously. Some funny moments in the game. Fable The Lost Chapters. This is one hell of a game. Fable 1's a hell of a game. Fable 2, fuck this, yay to that. I don't know what Fable 2's issue is, honestly. Peter Molyneux promises you the world and doesn't fulfill 90% of it. Morrowind. I bought this thought it was the Game of the Year edition. It wasn't, but still, it's Morrowind. It's Morrowind. Yeah, it's Elder Scrolls 3. What can I say about that hasn't already been Rainbow Six said? Lockdown, Final Fantasy, Phantasy Star Online 1 and 2, Crimson Skies, Unreal Championship, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, one hell of a game, Oddworld Stranger's Wrath, another hell of a game, Ghost Recon, Stacked, the poker game, San Andreas, Unreal Championship 2, Doom 3, which was at the time considered a disappointment by some, Spartan Total Warrior, Jade Empire Limited Edition. Jade Empire, another BioWare game. Great game. Different style. One of the most different RPGs out there, only because it's based in feudal Japan. It's got a very wushu, martial arts, Jet Li style to it. It feels like I'm watching New Legend of Shaolin in the video game format. Or, just to toot my own horn, New Legend of Shaolin. Final Fantasy Anthology. I wrote an article about 6 on that. Darkstone, which was a budget title when it came out towards the end of the PlayStation 1's life cycle. Problem is, it has the beer goggles of nostalgia to it. I bought it recently and thought, why did I buy it? Personal favorite of me and the wife's, Legend of Dragoon. I don't know why Sony's never bothered to make a sequel to this, really. Solid game, solid story. Don't know why. Because I have Xenosaga 1 and 2, I have Xenogears. Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Odd Camera Angle. Chronicles, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy IV. Tactics, I used to own it without the greatest hits. Lost. Final Fantasy VII. But there's a website called Squall is Dead. Or Squall's Dead. If you want an interesting take on what the story could mean in Final Fantasy VIII, read it. It just basically says, at the end of disc 1, he dies, and they give evidence throughout the other 3 discs on why he's dead. And it makes sense. I know that's not the story, but still, it made a lot of sense. Chrono Cross. Another proud gaming achievement in my life was beating the final boss in this game with the music. Very hard considering he just throws random spells at you. That'll mess the song up. Madden Collector's Edition. The 20th anniversary of the Collector's Edition. I'm a Madden fan. I'm very disappointed about Madden this year, 2012. Very bad game that they came out with. And then I have Galarians and Metal Gear Solid on the PS1. Now we're going to hit, really quick, Nintendo Powers, more strategy guides, and now we're going to hit the Collector's Editions. Also, before I begin, 4 random PS1 memory cards. Dead Rising 2 Edition, Zombrex Edition. Actually had some cool stuff in there. It's got the art of... It's got the disc set with the game, the making of... A sticker for health and safety on Zombrex. The art book of Dead Rising 2, which this could get a little gory, but you know. Then it's got like a map, a prescription pad for Zombrex, which is a notepad, and then a pen, never used, which is a Zombrex injector pen. Found that this is the New Vegas collector set. Game itself was meh, but the collector set itself is pretty cool. It does have the, you know, hardbound novel detailing the start of the game, the behind the scenes disc, wham, playing cards that have not been opened, the poker chips that have not been opened for each of the casinos, and then the platinum chip, which I hope you can get the detail. It's actually a roulette wheel on both sides from the Lucky 38 casino. That is a badass chip. And the DLC I got for it was the gun, which was immediately glitched, which wasn't cool. Thank you, Bethesda B team. And there's Batman. Arkham Asylum. This isn't mine. This is the missus. This is the wife. Opted not to get the collectors for Arkham City. There's the Batarang. Then there's the leather-bound Arkham files. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have. Pretty cool to own. Just for the Batarang alone, but the case is just wicked. Alright, this part is going to be odds and ends. When I made reference to the second version of the Nintendo being the different colored Nintendos, this is one that came out later in life, how it's all gray. The other one's white in the crappy parts. This is what a Super Nintendo looked like when it first came out, not yellow. And this is backup Nintendo as well. I'm always on the lookout now, especially for cheap Nintendo systems to mod. This is a box. Inside the box is not the ending of a movie with Brad Pitt, Kevin Spacey, and Morgan Freeman. It's a bunch of tubes. I cut these tubes in half, and this is where I put all the spare controllers, power cables, and power cables. I have my first custom NES controller, the extra Super NES controller, a Game Boy adapter, RF cables, power supplies for the spare systems, AV cables. It just makes it neater to me. I saw the idea on the internet. I think it was on Cheeseburger, one of the cheeseburger sites. But it made a lot of sense to me, especially, you know, when I buy collections. That's how I got so many different copies of the same game. On the Atari, I bought collections.